Hey Mavs fans, welcome into All Things Mavs. I'm your host Jimmy Crowther. I'm going to break down the 2020 draft and what the Mavs were able to do. But before we do that, I want to make sure you've subscribed to All Things Mavs, youtube.com/All Things Mavs, where we're going to have you covered all the way through the offseason. We had you covered all draft long and leading up to the NBA draft as well. Let's go ahead and subscribe to get your fill of all things Dallas Mavericks.
All Things Mavs.
Now, today's draft grades are brought to you by Manscaped, and I'm going to bring you everything you need to know about what the Mavs did on this crazy, wild draft night. So make sure you stick with us all the way through to the end as I talk about some undrafted free agents the Dallas Mavericks picked up and talk about all the guys they drafted tonight, as well as one that they ended up trading for. Now, my overall grade for the Dallas Mavericks on draft night was an A. In fact, I picked them as one of the big winners of the NBA draft, and no, not just because I'm Homer Jimmy here on All Things Mavs, but you look at what they did, and they did everything they needed to do by filling a lot of different needs. They went out and got Josh Green at Arizona with the 18th pick, Tyrell Terry at number 31, and then they made a draft night trade in which they sent Seth Curry to the Philadelphia 76ers for Josh Richardson and the 36th overall pick, and with that 36th pick, they selected Tyler Bey out of Colorado, an elite defender that can play either forward position. And I'll break all those guys down a little bit more here in just a second, and a little bit more about Josh Richardson as well. But before I do that, I want you to give me your one-word reaction in the comment section to draft night. Was it awesome? Did it stink? Were you unhappy? One word. Now, when the draft first wrapped up, I said bittersweet for the Mavs by giving up Seth Curry. I'd probably stick true to that, but also I would just say good or awesome because I was super pleased with what the Mavs did tonight, but let me hear yours in the comments section. Let's talk about that first pick, Josh Green at 18. He's going to be a 3-and-D kind of slasher at this next level. I've talked about him a lot here on All Things Mavs. If you're already subscribed, you already know that I love this kid. In fact, I had him as my third best small forward in this draft. His defense is the best part of his game. And we talked about it night after night, day after day on this Mavs channel. The Mavs need to add defense. And now they went out and did that with the 18th overall pick, and they take Josh Green, who's also going to be a fun athlete. I know some Mavs fans are getting flashbacks of Justin Anderson out of Virginia. He's not that at all. He'll take jump shots willingly, and he is a dog on defense. I had him valued at about number 22 on my draft board, so this was really solid range for Josh Green. Now, the first pick in the second round, the Mavs went with Tyrell Terry, and I know some Mavs fans were pretty upset that they didn't get Desmond Bane, but he went one pick early to the Memphis Grizzlies, and you know what? That's okay because Tyrell Terry, I had him ranked as my 22nd best player in the draft. The Mavs get him at 31. That's really good value. He's an A-plus shooter. The last time the Mavs had a guy named Terry with the last name Terry, that worked out pretty well. And you lose Seth Curry, but you bring in one of the best shooters in the draft out of Stanford in Tyrell Terry. Also, he compared himself to Kristaps Porzingis. He said, yeah, I see myself a lot like Porzingis if I was 7'3". That gets me excited. He can be a secondary playmaker. He's a good passer. He's super smart, and he's added a lot of weight to a very skinny frame that he had in college. This pick got me hyped. I was all about it, and you should be too. I love Tyrell Terry. We'll see what he does with the Mavs. But one thing you should do right now is go to manscaped.com/chat and get 20% off the Lawnmower 3.0. Look, I got it right here for you guys. So go check them out at manscaped.com/chat. 20% off plus that free shipping. It is the best men's grooming tool you will ever use, I promise. And with Christmas right around the corner for all of our female Mavs fans for life, go get it for your husband and put it in his stocking. He's going to love it. Manscaped.com/chat. One more time. 20% off plus that free shipping. Let's talk about the last pick the Dallas Mavericks made tonight at 36. The unexpected pick that we didn't see them getting, and they went out and traded for it, and my goodness, did they hit another home run. Now, they didn't get the Bey that I think a lot of Mavs fans wanted in Saddiq Bey, but they went out and got Tyler Bey, a guy that can play either the 3 or the 4. He's got a giant wingspan. He is an elite defender out of this draft. And now, offensively, he's got a little ways to go, but he's a powerful finisher inside. He rebounds really, really well for his size. And we all love Dorian Finney-Smith, right? Kind of a Dorian Finney-Smith starter kit if he can get that jump shot up a little bit. I think he can also defend fives a little bit better than Dorian Finney-Smith can, but This pick got me excited. Think he's very underrated, and 36 was a very good value for him for the Mavs. But which of the 3 picks tonight got you the most excited? Josh Green at 18, Tyrell Terry at 31, or Tyler Bey at 36? I'll be honest with you. I like the Josh Green pick, but I liked guys better like Saddiq Bey at 18. I was happy with Josh Green, not ecstatic. Tyrell Terry at 31, I was jumping up and down. If you were watching our live draft coverage, you know how hyped I got about Terry at 31 because he is that offensive playmaker and three-point shooter the Mavs need off the bench. And then Tyler Bey, defensively, he's perfect. So I'd be tapping my TT for Tyrell Terry, but, man, truly, I'm happy with all 3 picks the Mavs made tonight. Love Terry, love Bey. Pretty excited about Josh Green. Now let's recap the trade that a lot of Mavs fans were kind of sad about, and I get it because the Mavs lost a loved one in Seth Curry. They send 30-year-old Seth Curry to the Philadelphia 76ers, and they receive Josh Richardson, who's 27 years old, and the 36th pick, which ended up being Tyler Bey. So you send out an offensive guy that doesn't provide much on defense, and you bring back 2 defensive players, along with one that can score on the offensive end as well, within Josh Richardson, who, again, he's 27 years old. He's an upgrade defensively. And, yeah, he's got a good chunk of money with $10 million left on this deal, and then he has an $11 million player option next season. But you looked at his three-point percentage, and you say, Jimmy, he's only a 35% shooter. That's not very good. Well, he was on a team in Philadelphia that didn't space the floor at all. There was no room for him to shoot. Think about offensively what Tim Hardaway Jr. was like in New York, and then what he became in Dallas. Think the same thing with Josh Richardson. This is a perfect pickup for the Mavs, and I think he's going to be a great culture fit as well. So grade that trade. A, B, C, D, or F. F being hated it, never should have done it, should have left it alone. A being perfect fit, super happy. I'm not mad at all about what we gave up. And I'm going to go B+ here because I still love Seth Curry. And you're downgrading from a 45% three-point shooter to a 34% three-point shooter in Josh Richardson. But when you look at the Mavs situation, the fact that they were able to hold on to Tim Hardaway Jr., who was arguably their best volume three-point shooter, and then go out and get a better defender in Josh Richardson, who can also shoot and finish at the rim, and he's 27, and you get Tyler Bey, that's a B+ in my opinion. Mavs were really, really solid in that trade scenario. And then right before I filmed this video, a couple pieces of news came out about some undrafted free agents the Mavs went out and got right after the draft ended. Nate Hinton, a local kid, well, not really local, more of Houston, but we'll forgive him for that, played at the U of H, signed a 2-way contract with the Dallas Mavericks. He's a good defender that can guard really 3 to 4 positions on the floor, a solid rebounder, and he's a good shooter as well. He projects well to be a 3-and-D type guy, and on that 2-way contract, you're not really giving up a roster spot. You're giving him a position and a chance to kind of try out for this team. And then the Mavs made one more move, and I got to be honest, this one got me excited too. So they go out and get 2 kids that played in Texas. This one out of Baylor, FREDDIE GILLESPIE. They signed him as an undrafted free agent. I believe it's a 2-way, but the details haven't come out about that. He's only 6'9", so a little bit smaller for a big man, but a 7'6" wingspan. That's insane. His wingspan is as big as Yao Ming was. So great defender in college and a great story too, as he started as a D3 prospect, then walked on to the Baylor basketball team, and now he's in the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks. So if you're hyped about everything that happened tonight, type MFFL, type Go Mavs, and subscribe to All Things Mavs tonight. And baby, let's go Mavs.